Hey guys, so I've noticed a lot of people on the Hypixel Forums posting about getting started with Hypixel UHC. It is pretty different from other servers because you have your customized crafts and professions, your starter kits, so it is a little overwhelming at first, so this video is more or less to help people get started. So before we get into all the different crafts in the shop, you can get coins before playing your first game. There are two different ways. The first one would be to go over to this NPC in the lobby and vote. You can vote twice a day, so once you vote, you'll have 6,000 arcade coins. So if you go to the arcade lobby, I'll just show you. If you go to the arcade lobby and click on the emerald, you can convert coins, and then you can make sure you select UHC, so you'll have 500 coins, which is enough to get you started. It's not a whole lot, but it'll get you a couple of crafts at the beginning. And the other way is in the main lobby. There are NPCs hidden around the main lobby that'll give you coins, so there are two different ones that'll give you 2,500 coins for UHC. I don't actually know which ones they are. You can probably find them on the on YouTube, but they're kind of hidden around, so some of them are harder to find than others. They're spread out in the buildings and stuff, but you can get 5,000 from that, which will actually get you a few different things. So with your coins you get before you start playing, what I would buy first is within engineering. Iron Pack is definitely the most essential craft. So basically what it does is it takes 8 iron ingots, or sorry, iron ore, and you surround a coal block, or a piece of coal with that iron ore, and then it gives you 10 iron ingots, so you don't have to wait to smelt, and you get more iron, and you can do that 3 times. So if you get 24 iron ore, you can make 30 iron and be done getting iron for the rest of the game, unless you want to make an iron pickaxe or an anvil or something like that. So it's convenient if you want to iron rush. You just use Iron Pack and you don't have to worry about smelting anything. Also, Eve's Temptation in cooking, it basically allows you to take 1 apple with bone meal and turn it into 4 apples, because you can do 3 crafts and it dupes the apple each time. So if you have a bone and an apple and you have a ton of gold, then it's a good way to get more apples. And then in survivalism, Delicious Meal is the same thing as Iron Pack, except it's with beef. So, I mean, raw food works, but it's always nice to have cooked food. It's not essential, but it's convenient. And then after that, the next thing you're going to take a look at is your kits. By default, you start as a leather kit, which please change from leather kit. Not only is it bad, but there's a very bad sort of stereotype with leathers on Hypixel. You will definitely get made fun of. It kind of sucks, because since that's what the default thing is, people will spawn with it and not realize it, and then kind of people will get a bad first impression of you. But switch to bow kit is what I use, especially when you first start out, so you'll be guaranteed a bow and some arrows. And then you can upgrade your kits by clicking on the actual tool itself. The die is what equips it. So right now I would have leather equipped, now I have bow equipped. Clicking on these will upgrade it. So max bow kit will give you 6 string and 9 feathers, which is definitely good, not only for the extra feathers, but the extra string will be helpful with making rods, or later you can make saddles with it once you buy a certain craft. Stone tools is also decent for starters. Like if you are a melee sort of player and you don't really want a bow, then stone tools would be nice. Help you get started quicker. Then once you upgrade it, you get efficiency stone tools, which makes caving a lot quicker. Looter is another one that is useful. I wouldn't recommend it to new players. Once you get some more crafts, then it becomes more useful, but at the start I wouldn't recommend it. Ecologist could be nice if you spawn in a plains and don't find trees for 10 minutes, but I wouldn't recommend starting or ever using it really, because it's kind of a gamble. Lunchbox, again, it's okay. Max Lunchbox can be useful if you have Exodus, which is an extra ultimate that we'll get to later, but you don't have to worry about that anytime soon, assuming you're a beginner, so don't worry about Lunchbox. And then Enchanting, I think, is pretty stupid. Don't use it. It's stupid. Just ignore it. So now we'll get into the professions themselves. I guess we'll just kind of go in order. So weaponsmithing, you'll notice there's glass blocks and panes. So the blocks themselves are the crafts, and the panes are all passive abilities. So this one is you get strength 1 for 0.5 seconds on a player kill, and then you get an additional 0.5 seconds for each of these panes that you get. So these are your tier 1 crafts, tier 2 crafts, and your ultimates. Starting with weaponsmithing, Vorpal Sword, I personally have never made it, but you have to buy things in order, you have to work your way up to the ultimate. I wouldn't recommend making it. I don't even know how you make it, to be honest. It's kind of a waste. It doesn't give you anything that helps with PvP. I'm pretty sure it only gives you, like smite or something like that. The tier 2 crafts, however, are really good. You get Book of Sharpening, Book of Power, pretty self-explanatory. It's a Sharp 1 book and a Power 1 book. So, and you get 3 different crafts for those. That's another thing. Tier 1 and Tier 2 crafts you can all make 3 times. Ultimates you can only make once, unless you prestige, which is down here. So, and when you prestige, you can also make an additional craft of the other one, so you can do 4 at most. So, Book of Sharpening, Book of Power, very good. Those would be some of the first tier 2 crafts I would go for. Armor smithing, leather economy. It's actually, I use it pretty frequently. If you're trying to make saddles for your teammates, we'll get to the saddle craft later, but it requires leather. So if you don't have much leather, you can turn 3 leather into 8 leather. So that's useful. And the passive abilities, you get resistance 1 for 1 second on a player kill. So again, that's pretty good. That's an entire second versus half a second of strength. So on a player kill, you'll get 10 seconds of resistance. So if you're fighting a team and you kill a guy, then you'll have strength and resistance for 5 and 10 seconds. So it's pretty helpful. And then the tier 2 crafts, the Book of Protection and the Book of, or Artemis book, that's Prot 1. So again, these are 2 of the crafts, tier 2 crafts at least, that I would go for right off the bat. They're pretty good. And then the ultimate, I forgot to go over the ultimate for weaponsmithing, we'll go back to that. Dragon Armor, takes a diamond chestplate, an anvil, 2 obsidian, and a magma cream, and you get a Prot 4 diamond chestplate. For weaponsmithing, Dragon Sword takes 2 obsidian, 2 blaze powder, and a diamond sword, and you get a diamond sword that has an additional 1 attack damage at all times. So even like a sharp 2 diamond sword versus sharp 2 dragon sword, the dragon sword still has 1 more attack damage. So that's pretty good. Alchemy. So Dust of Light, I've never made it. My teammates have made it before. It can be helpful if you're making pots and you forgot to get glowstone in the nether. The passive ability is you get plus 2% duration on positive potions. So keyword positive. It's not going to hurt you if someone poisons you, but it's helpful. When we get to Pandora's box, you can get potions from that. So having, what is this, 20% more duration on those will definitely come in handy. Brewing Artifact, that is Nether Wart, and Nectar is a potion. You get, what is it, regen 2, so 8 hearts of regen, I think, or maybe that's 8 hearts if you have this maxed. Either way, I get 8 hearts of regen, and it's pretty cheap, but you need an emerald and a melon, which isn't very common, but definitely comes in handy. And then the ultimate is Flaming Artifact, which I use a lot. It's to make a blaze rod, and blaze powder is used in a lot of ultimates and extra ultimates, so definitely comes in handy. Not something I would rush right away, but once you get some ultimates and extra ultimates, it'll definitely come in handy. Survivalism is the cheapest profession, and I think it's one of the most useful. So Delicious Meal we already talked about. The passive is what makes it so great, is you get 4% less damage from the environment, so that's 40% less damage taken from the environment. So your fall damage, your mob damage, not sure if it counts lava or fire, but any damage you would take during caving, assuming it's not PvP, that's 40% less if you have this max, and it's pretty cheap. You could probably get enough coins to max this in a day or two. So, not taking damage is always a good thing. Tier 2 Potion of Toughness is just Resistance 1, I believe. It only takes a slime ball and, a glass bottle and snow block, so it's pretty cheap, but you don't always get slime balls. But it's something you can always make if you have the stuff, but it's not essential. Spiked armor, I've never made. It's leather armor with thorns and protection on it. Some people like to do what's called a leather challenge, which is trying to win a game with leather armor, so that would come in handy if you're trying to do that, but other than that, it's pretty pointless. I've never made it. And then 7 leagues are Prot 3 diamond boots that also have feather falling 3, so they're good. It takes an ender pearl, among other things, but the ender pearl is the part of that recipe that you don't always get, but if you ever get the stuff to make it, it's definitely good. Engineering, another one that is very good. So we went over Iron Pack. The passive is you get 5 seconds of haste. So, 5 seconds of haste when you mine an ore. So that's 50 seconds of haste whenever you mine an ore. So basically, during your mining phase, you'll pretty much always have haste, which speeds things up. It's good. Obsidian can come in handy. Allows you to craft obsidian without having to make a diamond pickaxe. So if you're trying to make an table, then you can just craft it instead. It just takes a lava bucket and a water bucket. Now, if you don't have a prestige, you can only make 3, so you'll have to have another teammate make the 3rd, but if you're trying to make an table, that is. So, but it still comes in handy. Tarn Helm is a Prot 1, I think, fire protection helmet. So, also comes in handy. It only takes 4 diamond to make the helmet, so you save on a diamond every time you make Tarn Helm, but you can't add more protection to it. You're stuck at Prot 1. So, it's got its pluses and minuses, but overall I'd say it's good. Saves you an extra diamond, which, unless you're completely stocked on diamond, will help out in the long run. Ultimate is Philosopher's Pickaxe. So it makes a diamond Fortune 2 pickaxe. You don't have to use any diamond to make it. Now it says you have 3 durability, or I guess 2 durability, but then it's 2, 1, 0. But the last hit on it will not give you Fortune 2 for whatever reason. I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's a glitch, but it's been like that for as long as I can remember. So you get 2 hits of Fortune 2, so you can use it on diamonds and try and get more diamonds. And then if you have Engineering Prestige like I do, and you make a second one, if you save the last hit for each of those, you can combine them and make an actual diamond pickaxe that has maybe like 60 durability. And then you can use that to mine obsidian if you need it for a different craft. So that's probably the first one I would try in Prestige, especially because you'll also get an extra Iron Pack That way you'll be closer to making an anvil without having to smelt. Enchanting. Enlightening Pack is making XP bottles. It takes 4 redstone blocks and a glass bottle. So it comes in handy. You get 8 XP bottles. I mean, I use it. And there are crafts that require XP bottles, so that'll come in handy for that. What is this? Magnetism. Can't see it, but magnetism gives you more XP for whatever would give you XP. I'm not sure if it's just mining ores. Oh, there it goes. Oh no. Yeah, killing mobs or mining ores, yeah. So whatever you would normally get XP from, I guess, except for smelting, since it specifies killing mobs or mining ores, you get more XP. So that's good. Help you level up quicker. Light Anvil is essential if you're using these books. So Light Anvil, all it requires is 15. No, that's not right. No, yeah, 15. 15 iron for an anvil. So you can make an anvil pretty easily to put those books on it or on your gear. Light E-table, I've never made. It can come in handy because it makes the E-table require 1 diamond as opposed to 2, but you also need a bookshelf and XP bottles, so it's not always convenient. But if you only have 1 diamond and you have a lot of books already and got XP bottles, either you crafted XP bottles, Game's brighter right now. So if you crafted XP bottles and you have a lot of books, then it can come in handy, but it's usually less convenient. Book of Thoth I actually haven't made because it requires a Eye of Ender, which when we get to the extra ultimates, there's another recipe that an Eye of Ender is a lot more useful for. But I think it's like Prot 3, Sharp 2 or something like that, which if you get a lot of Ender Pearls, you could definitely make it. It doesn't hurt, but it could definitely come in handy. Cooking. This is another one that prestiging is helpful for, and that is because the ultimate. But let's start from the beginning. We went over Eve's Temptation. The passive ability is really good. You get 2 hearts of absorption. That's not even right. You get 4. I don't know why it says 2. You get 4 hearts of absorption. And then when you have it maxed, it lasts the entire grace period, which is the first 10 minutes. So when you're caving, you basically get a shield. Drink some water. And then tier 2, healing fruit, you can make a melon, which is useful for a couple of different recipes, because finding jungles aren't very common. Holy water is an absorption 2 potion. Not very practical because you need a music disc, but I guess it could come in handy sometimes. Light apple is the reason you want a prestige. So light apple, you can make a golden apple, but it only requires 4 gold. So if you prestige it, you can make 2 of those. It definitely comes in handy. Probably one of the better ultimates. Bloodcraft. Bloodcraft and Hunter are the 2 most expensive, but they're pretty useful. So golden head, if you didn't know, you can eat heads straight up in Hypixel UHC. You don't need to make them golden heads first. Normal heads heal your entire team for 3 hearts. Golden heads heal you 4 hearts, your whole team, and give everyone 2 hearts of absorption. Requires 8 gold. And then the passive abilities, you gain speed 2 for eating a player head. Just you do, not the rest of your team. And when you have everything maxed, you get 10 seconds of speed too. So it makes eating heads pretty useful because it heals your whole team and you get speed too. So Pandora's box is probably the best tier 2 craft. It's probably better than most ultimates also. So with a player head and 8 chests, you get a box where you get more or less a random item. It's not completely random. There's a list of items you could potentially get. There are some bad ones, but you get mostly gold, golden apples, sharp books, power books, flame books, fire aspect books. You can get instant health potions, you can get speed strength potions, speed absorption potions, let's see what else, diamonds, XP bottles, and then the negative ones you can get a slapfish, which is just a slap in the face kind of fish. You don't get anything from it besides a little bit of food, I guess. You can get nothing. You can spawn an ender dragon, which can damage you when you spawn it, so it kind of sucks. It's kind of fun spawning an ender dragon, but it doesn't really help you. It's just interesting. I think that's about all you can get, but a bunch of different types of potions, anywhere from insta health 2 to insta health 4. And then the ultimate is Cupid's bow, which is a flame power bow, power 1 bow I should say, which sounds pretty good, but you can't add more power to it, so you're stuck at power 1, which it still could be good, but it costs 2 heads and I think 2 blaze rods. I've never actually made it because 2 heads is pretty expensive and you could just p-box them and get power 4 anyway. But if you really like flame, it could definitely be helpful because flame's pretty overpowered, but something that could be helpful. Hunter. So Hunter's passive is pretty good. Air economy, I forgot to mention this earlier. This is a pretty good craft you should get before you start. So it lets you take 3 sticks, 3 feathers, and 3 flint and turn it into 20 arrows, and you can do that 3 times, so you get 60 arrows from what would normally make 36. So that's pretty good, especially if you like to bow spam. I use it every game, so that's good. The passive abilities, you get gold nuggets every time you or your teammate gets a kill. So when you have it maxed, you get 10 golden nuggets, and if your whole team has it maxed, you'll get 30 gold nuggets every time you get a kill. So say you kill a 3 team, then you have 90 gold nuggets, which makes 10 gold. So definitely comes in handy. The gold nuggets will make a difference during games. Tier 2 crafts. The saddle I use pretty much every game, because assuming you don't find a saddle in a dungeon or a mine shaft, then crafting a saddle is pretty easy. It just takes 2 string, 4 leather, and 2 iron. And I like horses, so definitely a good craft. Potion of Velocity takes cocoa beans, 1 sugar, and a glass bottle, and you make a speed 3 potion. I think it lasts 12 seconds. Sounds about right. 10 or 12, something like that. Maybe it's 12 with the 1 perk max, but it can come in handy, but you don't always find jungles. The ultimate is Fenrir, which is a wolf that has speed 1, I believe, and when you spawn it, I think it has less health, but if you feed it once, it gains more health. I don't know if those are rumors or if that's actually true, but if you prestige it, which I don't have a prestige yet because it's pretty expensive, but if you prestige it and make 2, you can breed them, and they're all Fenrirs, even the babies, so they'll all have speed 1. So you can make an army of Fenrirs and it would be pretty good. I've breeded mine with my teammates before. It's pretty fun. Okay guys, so that was a pretty basic tutorial on Hypixel UHC. If you guys want, I can always make a video on extra ultimates and some common styles of play, but that would be way too much info for one video. So comment below if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in the next one.